I still need to repair these lugs. There's one there. There's one on the top of that one. And there's a big hole down there that I've got to repair. I've got the airbox repair finished. I used epoxy resin just to bridge the lobes. And what I actually did, I used a piece of wire just to hold it together, because I did do it without the wire, and as I was sanding it, it fell out. And this one here, I used a piece of tape just to shape it. I think it's come out well. So yeah, I think once that's sprayed up, I think that should look alright. Well, I'm pleased the way the airbox came out. I think it looks quite good considering the condition it was in. Lugs look good. I think that'll do. All in all, it's just another brick in the wall. Let's get ready to rumble. So everything's cleaned up, all new parts laid out. Like I said in my earlier video, I've got the tank to redo, some of the paintwork, but I'm going to do that at a later date. Got the engine side cases to finish off. But apart from that, we're ready to reassemble.
Passing high, living life to her own philosophy, and she knows what it is to be everyone to someone, but the way to be a burden to
Let's get cracking. I've got the airbox in there. I've got the bike upside down at the moment because I want to get the swinging arm on and the centre stand and the foot pegs. But I think it looks alright. I did have a bit of a problem. The battery's a little bit too wide. This is a 6 volt. It's the only one I could find. So I've had to put a little packer in here just to push the airbox over slightly. Only by about ½ an inch, if that. But I've tried the battery and the side panel and it seems to have worked just. So let's get this centre stand on and the foot pegs, swinging arm, we can get it turned over and start getting the main bits on. Let the build begin. Let's get cracking. There you go, swinging arms on. I've just popped the back wheel on there so I can get it up on the centre stand. Gives me an easier position to do the yokes and the forks. It's not a permanent thing. I've got to take it off, get the tyre on, get the hubs on. So let's get cracking doing these front yokes, shall we? I've got the insert in for the bottom race. And I've got the insert in for the top of the race. So let's get these greased up and get the bearings in, shall we? And there is a certain way these bearings go on. You've got a fuller bearing there, which I believe goes on that way. Yeah, it doesn't quite fit on that one. So plenty of grease in there. You can always take more grease out, but you'd have to take it apart to put more grease in. And again, the top bearing has a set way to go on, so it needs to go on that way. This needs a special tool to do it up, which I haven't got. So I'm going to use a pair of Stilsons. Just be careful. Okay, I've just pinched that slightly. You don't want to overdo the bearings. And on the other hand, you don't want to underdo the bearings. So that feels quite adequate. Get a little more nip. Yeah, feels good. I'm only going to pinch that centre bolt down there till I get the forks in. This looks pretty rusty, so I might source a new one. Let's see what it looks like with the forks on, shall we? Well, I've got the forks on, and then I went a little bit crazy. I put the stanchions on, put the covers on, temporarily put the handlebars on. I've got the tyres on today, front and back. Front wheel's got to come off yet, we've got to do the brake shoes. And for the rear, you may have noticed that I had to bend the brackets slightly. The reason for this is the old round headlight, the binnacle for it, is about 1.5 inches shorter than the new square one. So there, yeah. I don't think it looks too out of place. And I mean, it seems that the original RXS 115 had a square headlight. So I want to try and keep it as original as possible. I think it was only the RXS 100s that had the round headlight, I think. I'm not sure. If you know better, please leave me some comments in the comment section. I also did a bit of work on the back. You can see the rear tyres on as well. I just thought I'd put the hub in. There's no brakes in there yet. So the shocks are on, grab rails on. I put the indicators on and the rear lamp. I put the chrome mudguard, the extension, and the plastic mudguard. So what do you think of my battery holder? Looks a bit crude, but it's effective. Got a piece of elastic, folded it over a few times at the end. Super glued it, so this end's really hard. Done the same on this end. Screwed that to the airbox. Pull it round, get on there. I think it's quite effective. And if I paint this black just to match it in, I don't think it'd be out of place. So what I want to do now, I want to get the new brake shoes in. I got them today in town, front and rear. And we'll also get the sprocket on and all the bits and pieces that go with it. Okay, let's get the front ones in first. These didn't come with any springs, so I'm going to have to use the old ones. That's alright, they're fine. Be careful not to contaminate the shoes. Getting a whole of grease on them. Okay, there we go. Voila, that's how to do it. I'm going to pack some more grease in here before I put this on. And let's get the rear ones done. And again, we'll put the springs on first. Yeah, these are much easier. Like I said, we tilt them up, make a nice big gap. Allows us to slip it on nicely. And there we go. Okay, let's get these fitted and we get the wheels put on properly. But before we get this rear sprocket on and the brakes done and the wheels on for good, I want to install a few bits and pieces. We got some new chain tensioners, and I want to get the new reflectors on there, get these on the bike, side stand, airbox, foot pegs, and we'll get the front mudguard on as well. Let's get cracking. Scrap. Get these cleaned up with a wire brush first. Actually, these don't look too bad after all. I thought this was rust and corrosion, but it's grease and dirt. So they might have cleaned up, but never mind, we've got new ones. Let's get this front mudguard on, shall we? I'm thinking with these levers, I should have got these on before I put them on the bike. They're a little bit tight. So where's the last one? Got the rear brake all done. Back wheels on. It is rubbing slightly, but brand new shoes. Going to take a bit of time to wear in, I think. Got the front mudguard on. Got the headlight on, front indicators. I've still got to do this brake here. But yeah, looking good. I haven't put the clocks in place yet, I've just stood them there. Need to get the throttle done, but I'm not going to sort that out until I get the engine in, get the carb sorted out. And I did notice a problem with the front cowling. It doesn't fit. So the indicators are tight there. And we're way off. Okay, let's just drop this engine in, just see what it looks like, shall we? There you go, got the engine in. Just need to do up the bolts. Well, I managed to get the headlight cowling sorted out. What I actually did, I moved the indicators back. So these are the brackets that I really need, but I couldn't find them anywhere, so I'm going to have to sort some at a later date. But what I've done, I've welded a washer on the back here. That allowed me to put the indicators back, done it on both sides. That allows the cowling to go back in its correct position. I'm still going to have to find some way of fixing it though. There's two holes under here, so I might manufacture some brackets to go on the fork and I can bolt the cowling on. Great stuff. Yeah, it's starting to really come together now, isn't it? Well, I'm going to probably wrap this up as part 9 of the RXS build. Part 10, I'm going to get the wiring loom done, get that front cowling on, and get all the rest of the bits and pieces finished up. In the next part we can also get the exhaust put on and also the chain guard. To be honest, I'm not really sure I like that. So if you did like it, do give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe if you haven't, helps my channel out. Do leave me some comments down in the comments section. Always like a bit of critique. Okay, see you in part 10.